Hi and welcome back. In this section we will take a look at how to use Vuex in our application. So there are a couple of things we will learn in this section. First, we will learn how to install and use Vuex in our application. Next, we will learn how to commit mutations to update our state. After this, we will learn what the state of our application is, followed by learning how to use the map state helper. Last but not least, we will learn how to use Vuex in combination with components. So we start by learning how to add Vuex to our application. So what will we cover in this video? First, we will learn how to bind Vuex to our application. Next, we will learn how to create a new store. And after this, I will give you an introduction to mutations. And last but not least, I will also give an introduction to the state of the application. So I've created yet again a simple bootstrap application to give you an introduction to Vuex. So we have a card with two buttons inside, one to increment the counter and one to decrement the counter. And when the counter reaches 0, we won't be able to decrement further. Alright, open the project in your editor of choice and let's inspect the code. Let's open the main.js file. And at the top of the file you'll notice that we are importing the store right here. And we'll take a look at this store in just a minute. Next, we bind the store to our Vue instance below. So yeah, there's nothing major going on right here. Now let's go to the store directory and open the index.js file. So at the top we are importing Vue and Vuex, and we tell Vue to use Vuex. Next, we check if the application is running in production mode or in development mode. And if the application is running in production mode, we will set debug to false. And if the application is running in development or testing mode, we will set the debug property to true. After this, we will create a new instance of our Vuex store and we set the state of the store. Remember when we used a shared state a couple of videos ago? Well, this is basically the same. We have a count property set to 0 and below this you will find the mutations, and these methods have access to manipulate our store. As a rule of thumb, the store should only be updated by mutations. So we have two mutations, one for incrementing the counter and one for decrementing the counter. We check if the current state of the counter is 0, and if that's the case we'll simply return, and otherwise we decrement the count property with 1. Below the mutations you will see that we set the strict modes to the value of debug. So when we are running the application in our development or testing environment, we are setting the strict mode to true. In this way we can make sure that we are not updating the state without using a mutation. And we do not want to check this on production because it tends to become quite slow. And below the strict property you'll find an array of plugins, and this allows us to extend the Vuex functionality by using plugins. So we can use a login plugin to log to the console or use persistent storage with a different plugin. Alright, that's it for the store. Let's open the app.vue file. Alright, so you'll see that we show a card, and in the card body we have two buttons. The first one we'll call the method decrement and the second one we'll call the method increment. So let's view these methods now. Scroll a bit down and you will find the decrement method. By calling this method we commit a mutation called decrement, and Vuex allows us to access the $store object, and from here we can commit mutations. Remember that we are saying that we want to use Vuex in our store right here. And below the decrement method you will find the increment method as well. And this method is basically the same as the decrement method, but we'll commit the increment mutation. Alright, let's go to our template and see how we show the counter. So below the two buttons we are referencing the store state count property, and this is how we can reference the count property from the state. Alright, so that's basically it. But before we close this video, I want to show you the power of Vuex. Let's go back to the browser and open the Vue DevTools. Now let's go to the Vuex tab, and when we increment the button, you'll see that a new mutation has been added. So let's hit the button a few more times and the decrement button as well. And now a very cool feature of Vuex is that you can time travel through your application. Because the state of your application is being recorded, this allows us to jump to different mutations in our application. When we click on the mutation, we are inspecting the state during that mutation. So when we go to the base state, you will see that the count is 0. When we call the increment mutation, the count will be set to 1. The second one will be set to 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. And by clicking time travel, we can see how the application looked like during that mutation. So let's time travel to the base state. The counter is set to 0. First one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 decrements as well. Cool. And you'll notice that the counter changes as we travel through time, basically. It's pretty cool, right?